Part of the reason that not just the culture but the economy has also been taken over and dominated by the left is that we've really lost the competitive edge that I think many in the conservative libertarian sphere once had, where it was like, we're going to find a way to compete with you scumbags. Like, we're going to find a way. And I wish that instead of looking at these contracts and Crowder kind of framing it as him being a victim of it, he were to say, I'm going to replace you. You offer me these terrible deals, because if you can do that, then do it.
Yeah,
you don't need to complain.
If someone sent me this contract, I would take a dump on it. I'd be like, no.
I rolled a 20, by the way.
Get the F out of here.
Well, what you should do is,
I'm a free human being. I get to do what I want. You want to monetize and control every aspect of my existence? Hell freaking no.
It's important,
because I could do a way better job at it myself, and that no one's going to be controlling me or pulling my strings.
That's what he said to me. But I sent him a contract, and then Luke just got.
It's important come on, man. Not to get emotional when you get these weird contracts from like
ignorant. The squatty potty too.
Yeah.
Like, don't let your emotions charge up when you get insulting offers. Just stay cool and counter offer it with with more than what you want. Even give it to them. Give it back, and if they laugh at it, then walk away or renegotiate. But
we're not talking about 17-year-old Taylor Swift signing a crappy contract. We're talking about a 30-something-year-old man, or 40. I don't even know how old he is. It's just the you're not a victim personality. Here. Yeah, you're not a victim here.
Well, what I would say to Steven is, I think, he's been working with the Blaze for so long. He's not been in the space. It's kind of like, when you're in a relationship for a decade and then you break up or divorce or whatever, and you're going back in the dating pool and you're like, whoa, this is crazy.
Shark Tank.
Yeah, like, what do they expect of me?
Right.
So I see this and I'm like, again, the first and most important thing is, what's the fee? Because, Luke was mentioning, if I got a contract, take a dump on it. But Luke, what if they offered you $200 million?
Probably
1 year.
What's your number, Luke?
$200 million 1 year.
He says
I gotta read the contract. I gotta read all of it
for sure.
That would be good.
I gotta, but if they're gonna destroy everything I do,
true, because
hell
with
no,
that contract,
I don't want it.
They could delete his YouTube account with that contract.
You could do unspeakable things to me for $200 million. Unspeakable.
What was Kanye's?
Yeah, but you reach a certain point when you have so much money, it doesn't really matter, right? That's why I don't understand a lot of these kind of sociopaths.
I ain't got that kind of money.
I don't understand a lot of these sociopaths and billionaires.
$500 million yachts last night.
Yeah, but who cares?
I'll tell you, the number is probably like $200,000 per year, and then everything afterwards is confusing. It depends on, for me, I'll tell you my story. Everybody knows I grew up on the south side of Chicago, poor family. I remember when I bought Pokemon Red, I worked at my family's coffee shop. We took out loans, put the house as collateral to get it, ended up losing the house when everything fell apart. But I remember working for tips, saving up $30 and then buying Pokemon Red. And I was like, wow, that was so hard for me to do. And I knew kids whose parents bought them red and blue just because it was only $30, but we care. My dad makes six figures.
Right.
I was like, oh, my dad makes $30,000 a year. So I had to work really hard for that. So for people who grow up with a really high standard of living, it's hard for them because they're so used to it. I've met a lot of people who were born to families who are, millionaires. And when they're older, they're panicking about not making $500,000 a year because they're like, how do I hang out with my friends? They're flying to Ibiza next week. I got fired from my job and I got an offer. It's $125K. I can't fly to Ibiza on that. And I'm laughing like, I've never flown to Ibiza.
Yeah, I can't relate to those people, to be honest.
Right.
Even though I've made money like they have.